Okay, record. Yesterday we have seen how to create a package, how to create a folder inside it, and a small service to add two numbers. Okay, and what is the namespace and importance of it? Can any one of you tell me what is a namespace? One of you.
It is used to identify the service in the integration manager. Package name it will not be part of.
Yes,
Part of namespace.
package name.
Yeah, not part of namespace.
No, package name is not.
Yeah.
Okay, so only from the top. Okay, we'll do one thing. Okay, Pencil Red Garu, can you mute your system? Others don't mute, only Pencil Red. Hello? Okay, Vivek, can you unmute yourself and say what is the namespace? Vivek?
Hello.
Okay, what is the namespace? Are you able to hear me? Okay, no issues. So namespace is nothing but like how do you identify a particular service in the integration server? So you can see it in different ways. For example, I want to know about this test Java. So what's the namespace? So just open it. Okay. Once I open this, so you see in the topmost. So localhost 5555 @test/test Java. So till this slash, it's a package. Package name is not part of your namespace. Only the dots are the part of your namespace. Test.java. So whenever you see dot, that means it's a folder. It's a folder. Dot Java is subfolder in the test. And when you see double colon, like this is a colon, right? When you see colon, it's a service name. Okay. So this test Java service is inside a Java folder, which is again inside a test folder. If you see the same. So this is my main test folder. Inside this test folder, I have a Java folder, and inside my Java, I have a test.java service. Okay. If I want to tell the name of this service, then I have to say test.java test Java service. And if you want to run this particular service from the integrator, for example, what I do, so I will come here, I will say run like this, run as run service. So I can give the input something, I can click on OK. So this is your only the development tool, right? So runtime, integration server has to run this particular service. In that case, how integration server will know which one is to run? So in that case, so I told you yesterday. So I told you like this localhost 5555 starts with this, and then there is a keyword called the invoke, means we are invoking a service. Okay, which service? test dot java colon test java. Okay. For this, what the input it needs? T is the input. Question mark T equal to say 12. It will execute and it will show you the result. For example, want to which is in the WM public. For example, I want to add two numbers. So where you will find all the built-in services in the WM public package. If you go to WM public package, so you see like different folders. So if you want to do any mathematical operations, you can go to math. If you want to do any string related operations, you will go to string. So we want to add two numbers, which is a mathematical operation. So we'll go inside a math and then so we'll see add-ins is a service. So what is the namespace of the service now? So it's inside the pub folder. Math dot colon add-ins. Correct? So you can do one thing. You can just copy this. You can paste after invoke. It will come in the same way. So question mark. You have to send the parameters. What is the input for my service? Number 1, number 2. Question mark. Sorry. Number 1 equal to 10 and number 2 equal to 20. Okay. When I want to pass the inputs, it has to after question mark number 1 equal to 10 and is the next parameter or next input. Okay. So now if I run this, I'll get the value as 30. So if I want to run from here also, I'll do run as run. I'll do number 1 as 10, number 2 as 30. I'll get 40 as a value. So all these are the built-in services. Whenever you install any integration server, you will see a WM public package. Inside WM public package, you can see all these services. You can just go double click on it. It will open and you can run it. Okay. How to run is this one. You have here run as run service. Okay, so this is the namespace. Namespace is nothing but how do you identify particular service, and package name come under your namespace. Only the top folder in your service. Top folder dot subfolder and then service. If you don't have any subservice, then we only the top folder. Okay, so we have created one service yesterday. Okay, so we have created one first flow service and we did mathematical operation. And how do we do? We just drag and drop here. Correct? So if you want to create a, you will right click. Once you create a flow service, it will be empty. Okay, for example, if you want to write mathematical operation, so this is the operation which I want to call inside my flow service. So I'll just drag and drop it. Once I drag and drop it, so that since I am planning to do a addition, so you should be able to define the input and output. Whatever the you want to pass or output, you will get it. And then once you drag and drop, you have to go to pipeline. See the mapping. Okay, the importance of the pipeline is so all the variables you declared in flow service, you will see them in pipeline. If you see, I deleted this. Okay, so in my flow service, I don't have any step. In this case, my pipeline is empty because I don't have anything. So if I add, see, you see A, B as my input pipeline in and then ABC as pipeline out, because this is the output variable which is appending in the last. For example, if I add one more map, okay, the same, but if I go here, so earlier we have seen ABC, C was gone now, only AB, because output variable, this whatever the output variable is C, this will be appeared only in the last step. So for this flow service, this is my last step. So I will see output variable only in the last step. Is this clear? I can see my output variable only in the last step. So if I want to use it anywhere in the starting, so what you have to do, either you can come to last step and then you can copy paste. So these two are the input variables. So first step, like whenever you define the first map step or like first step, so whatever you define in the input, so they will come up in the pipeline. Is it clear? Any doubts? I'm going ahead since I did not get an update from you. No? Okay. Okay, so what I am doing is, for example, okay, I created a empty flow service with 2 inputs and 1 output. Okay, for my service, these 2 are the inputs and this is the output. So this also I declared when I created the flow service, correct? Okay, I will come from start. New flow service, I'll say add 2 numbers is my service. We add 2 numbers is my service. Finish. So when you create the new flow service, your input and output will be empty. Now I have to create input variables and output variables. I know to add 2 numbers, I need 2 inputs. Okay, say in 1, in 2, I will get sum as output. Okay, so what I am saying is, so we are discussing the importance of the pipeline. What is a pipeline and what is the importance of it? Okay, so pipeline, it will contain all you need to develop your code. For example, so since I don't have any steps to execute, so your pipeline will be empty. If I add any step, any flow step, okay, for example, say I added one map. So if you see, the pipeline is created with your pipeline in. So this pipeline actually comes from your input. First, it will create your pipeline with your inputs, because these values you are providing to perform your operation. I will give 10 and 20. By using this 10 and 20, you have to populate the sum. So starting, it will create pipeline as this input, but after completing your service, I have only one step. So after completing this step, your service will be completed. So I have to get sum also at the end. Since this is your last step, sum will come up here. But if I add one more step, it's not my last step now. This is the last step. So my output variable, which is a sum, will appear only here, not in the first step. First will be having only the input, and if you add something else, it will come up. Is this clear? Now, I think I have asked the wrong question. Okay, so any doubts? No. Okay, thank you guys. I confused. So now I have to add two numbers, right? So if I want to add two numbers, so we are not writing any code here. We have to use existing built-in services to achieve our requirement. So I will go to my add in service and drag and drop it here. Okay, drag and drop. If you see, so there is one more in the middle, service in, service out. So this service in and service out especially related to this particular flow service. For this flow service, you have to pass input 1, input 2, and number 1, number 2, and it will give you the value as output. So for number 1, I have to pass the input 1. So you can do by selecting both of them and map it. Okay, so you are passing whatever the value inside in 1, you are sending to number 1. Or you can create a map like this also. Drag and drop. Okay, so values go to my sum. Okay, just see now, my pipeline has in 1 into value and sum. Correct pipeline out? My pipeline out has in 1 into value and sum. But just see the magic. If I add map and if I go again here, I will see number 1, number 2 also came into. Was there earlier number 1, number 2? No. Now these two came because these two also, we are using these two also now. So they also come to your pipeline. Good practice is number 2 value. These are right. So number 2 and into has the same values. So these are duplicated. So I don't want 1. So I will drop it. See here, drop. I don't want number 2 also. I will drop. I don't want value also to come to my flow next time. We are dropping. So what is the importance of dropping in the pipeline? For example, if I am writing 100 lines of code. So if I am writing 100 lines of code and using like 100 sub-services, all the services input and output will come up here, which will increase the size of my pipeline, and runtime, all these variables will be loaded to memory, which is like our memory consuming. But if you drop them, they won't come into next step. So your memory size will be reduced. So the importance of variable is you can reduce the memory in the runtime. Okay. So whenever you don't want these variables to come into your next step, because I don't need them anytime. I'm done with these 3. Only for doing this operation, I needed these 3. Once I use them, I will drop them immediately, so that they won't come. But if I keep on maintaining them, my memory will be wasted and your service will take time. Okay, this is a good practice. This is one of the good practices when you are doing the code. Okay. So now, let me see what in the PPT. So we have seen the flow services, and so this PPT I will share to you all. So flow services. So this flow services we have seen yesterday till here, and then this one seen creating new. So flow steps. When you're writing a flow service, you want to code inside it, right? So if you want to achieve your coding, you will use all these flow steps. Branch, repeat, invoke, loop, sequence, and exit. So if you know this, your 100% of coding will be completed. In the web methods, if you see 1000 lines of code, so we'll be using only these 7. Clear? So we'll see one by one. I already saw this map and then invoke. This map we have seen like mapping input and output, right? Here. So this is nothing but a map, and this is nothing but a map. Okay, this is the invoke. This symbol you see, invoke. Invoke means you are calling another service like this. Okay, that's the invoke. And map means, so if you have mapped anything, input and output, like this. This is nothing but a map. Okay, there are more advantages over the map. We will discuss later. Okay, as of now, you just think like the map is nothing but just pointing from input to output. Just sending value from one place to another place. That's it. So in the real time, like you see the equal to operation, right? So C language or Java, whatever you think, so you'll be creating, for example, I want to add two numbers, taking A, comma, B, comma, C, B equal to 20, C equal to A plus B. Okay, so whenever you see this equal to operation, you are sending 10 to A. You are sending value 10 to A and 20 to B. You are assigning actually the same way. If you see this step, I am sending in one value to the number 1. Nothing but number 1 equal to in 1. Clear? The map. And invoke is like invoking a already developed service or built-in service. The remaining operations we'll see now. Next we'll see the branch. The map. So this is example link. Okay. So this branch you can actually branch is like a switch, we'll call it as here. Okay, in the if you know the C language, in any other language we have the if else, right? If condition. If this condition true, okay, then it will perform this operation. Sorry. Okay, this is the one condition. Can anyone tell me what is between switch and if else? Does anyone actual difference between the switch and if else condition? Hello? Can anyone tell me what's the difference between switch and if else?
condition last condition into
In if else, we can check for one value. Okay. Okay, so let me try to explain you. Okay. So for example, we will see the if condition first, and then we'll see the switch condition next. Okay, for example, I want to see, like, for example, I will say, I will enter the value which is like till 5. I want to know what the number I had. Okay, so whether I entered 1, or I entered 2, or I entered 3, or I entered 5, or 4. So in this case, in the if else, you say for example, this is a value. A. For this A, it will be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 values. Find out which value I sent to A. So in this case, I'll write if A equal to 1. Correct? If A equal to 1, what it will print? So you'll say print A equal to A value is 1. Okay? Again, else if A equal to 2, you will print A value is 2. A equal to 3, then it's a 3, 4, assume it's a 5 or more than 5. Okay, this is the condition. Okay, the same example, if I want to write it in the switch on A. Okay, so instead of writing if else, what I will do? I will write the cases. Case 1. So if A equal to 1, then I will print this A value is 1. Okay, then I will say break or whatever we call. Okay, then case 2. Case 2, case 3, case 4, and then instead we call it as a case default. I mean, like, if none of them are matching, then it will go to default case. So if you observe this example, so I am writing a condition here. Okay, so in the switch I am not writing the condition, I am mentioning the variable. So I have one more example. This is one example. Now I want to know whether the given value is less than 5 or greater than 5 or equal to 5. Okay, I can enter 10. It has to say me where it's a greater than 5. If I enter 0, it has to say it's a less than 1. Like if I take it as a 5 example only, where it has a greater than 5, less than 5 or equal to 5. In this case, I won't be able to check here. In the switch, I won't be able to write a condition like a less than 5 or a equal to 5. In this case, switch won't be suitable for me. I have to go for the if else only. What condition I have to write? If a less than 5. Then I will say a is less than 5. Else if a equal to 5. Then I will write equal to else a is greater than 5. So these three conditions I can complete, but in the switch I won't be able to achieve this. So in other words, so any condition will go to if else. You have an equality operation. For example, you have one variable and you want to check the equality, then you will go for the switch. These two are clear? When to go for the if else and when to go for switch? So there is another way writing in the switch, the same thing, but don't go with it now. Just understand this problem, it will be clear in the web methods. Is this clear? So when you have equality checkup, go to switch. When you are checking the condition, you'll go with it. And even there is one more. I have two variables, say a comma b. I want to check condition a greater than 1 and b greater than 2. When I want to check two variables condition, in the switch I will be able to check because I can pass only one variable. But in the if condition I can say if a greater than 5 and b greater than 5. I can pass more than one variable also. But here I won't be able to pass more than one variable. So all these scenarios, you will go for the if else. Only equality operation, you will go for the switch. So in our web method cases, so where is the service? Okay, so this is the branch in the flow steps. Okay, once I drag and drop it to my flow service, you see the property here. Okay, so this property is related to only my branch. If I click outside, so this property belongs to my service. But if I click on branch, this properties belongs to my branch tab. If you see the property, so it's a comments, scope, timeout, label, switch, and elite labels. So comments, why are in this branch step? If you want to tell anyone for referring this code later, these comments will be useful. Okay, so you can write it. So I am checking the condition. Which condition you are checking, you can write it. Scope, timeout, I will tell you later. Okay, so label, if you want to give some name to it. Okay, so this branch you want to identify later, then you will go for the label. And then you see, so switch means you have to create a variable. Scope and timeout I will tell you later. Okay, label means how do you identify this, and switch means the same way whatever we have discussed here in this example. You have to give a variable. Which variable you want to check the condition. Clear? And evaluate labels to false. Make it as evaluate labels to false when you use the switch. For example, So I will take the input as a country name. Okay. My output should be currency. Okay. In this case, pass country. For example, if I pass India, it has to give me INR. If I pass America, it has to give me USD. So all these properties related to this particular flow service. Okay, so this example, when I pass the country, it has to give me currency for that particular country. So let me go to my tree. So if I want to see what input and output, I can just add a map and check it out. So if I pass country, it gives me country and currency in my output. So now I have to check. So see, right in the switch now, because so that you will be able to understand it. Switch country. So strings will be given in single quotes, normal programming language. Okay. Clear? So this is the example which I want to write it in the web methods. So in any language, how do you write your logic is important. So before writing the web methods code, I am assuming like how the regular scenario is, how I can implement it in like the way how I know it. Okay, I know this is the way I want to write the program. Now I go to my web method, which is a designer. Okay, so now which variable I want to branch on? Branch on country, switch on country, correct? So copy this country. Actually, you have to give the name, variable name. In the switch, you can say country. So I want to switch over country. Okay, once I switch over on the country, add a map step to it. Okay, so this label is nothing but your case. This label is nothing but your case. If country equal to India, okay, if my country equal to India, what I have to do? Currency will be INR. So give some value to this. I am double clicking on this one so that it will open this window and write the name. Okay, I want to pass INR to currency because I am hard coding the value. If I have any mapping, then I can do mapping, but in this case I don't have the mapping. I have to give the value. Okay, so what I am doing is I am double clicking it, currency, I am entering INR. Okay, So once you did that, you will see one symbol saying X, which is nothing but, so this, if you don't want to double click, okay, so just click on variable and then go to this symbol, which is a set a value. Okay, if you click also, it will open the same INR. Okay, we add one more branch step for America. Okay,
అంటే ఒకదాన్ని ఇట్లా కరెన్సీకి ఇస్తాం, ఒకదానికి
USD. Okay, so one more step. UK, United Kingdom, then I have to give it as a so default condition. So you can create, like if you go to label, you can see this arrow mark, then there will be default and null. If I select default, okay, so default currency is no currency available. Okay, now I will save this, I will run the service. Okay, first I will pass India. This is a case sensitive, remember, whatever the value you give, it will just check the same value. If I give small I, it won't work. That means it will be. Okay, give me INR. If I pass UK, gives me EUR. If I pass any other country, it gives me no currency available. If I did not pass anything also, it will go to default only, because it's matching anything, it will go up here. Okay, no currency available. If I want to check that null condition also, so in case we don't have any null check, but if I want to do, I can select label as null. Okay, instead of no currency available, you do not provide any currency. Please provide country. I can print a message. Come to pipeline. Okay, because country value is 3. Passing any value, go to null. You see, please provide currency value as. So in this case, I am just running the service. I know it, but I want to see how the actual flow is executing. That means I want to debug. So debug means it will start and it will come to whatever the step we have. So in order to do the debug, we will see the small button here. Run this debug as debug flow service, and then what the country name? Say UK. Okay. So it will ask you to prompt to this perspective. We are in service development perspective. It's asking me to go to perspective. I say yes. So once you go there, it will come up like this. Okay. All the pipeline variable will come here. Okay, your flow, it will show you how it's executing. And these steps are important. So resume. If you have 100 steps, okay, you know, till 80 steps your flow is executing properly. From 81 step, you have to check what's happening. Then 18th point, you can put a break point like this. And put it the break point. If you come till the break point, resume means till the break point. Stop. If I want to stop my debugging, I will do this. Okay. So this step into. If I have any sub services, I want to go inside the sub services, then we'll go for step into. Step over. Step out from change to the parent service. Then you will use the step out. So now we are doing step over one by one. So I am in the map step now. First map step, and I have the country value as UK. I'm going to branch. Okay, I am in the branch and country. My still country name is UK. I go on that. See, since I passed the value as country UK, it moved directly from branch to that particular step. I am into UK map now. From that, it is end result saying that country is UK, currency is UR. Then go back to the service development again. Is this clear? The debugging? Okay. So this switch, see this one more, evaluate labels false. Okay. Whenever you mention the switch condition as some value, you have to make this evaluate labels to false. Okay. So in this example, we have seen this, right? One is equality and one is the condition. Whenever you want to give any conditions like this, then you have to make this as a empty and make evaluate labels to true. So that you can pass the country. So we'll see the next example with evaluate labels to true. Okay, I'll take one variable, say in value. Okay, I want to check this in value greater than 10 or less than 10 equal to 10. So if I want to see like that, in the previous example, if you see, I'll do branch. Okay, branch on. If I put A here, like in or input, what did I give? In. Okay. So in the tree, if I switch as in. Okay. So and I want to, like, I don't know which number the customer will pass. He may pass 100, he may pass 1000, he may pass 2000 also. But I want to give him the result as greater than 10 or less than 10 or equal to 10. So I write equal to operations like this. Okay. First I have to check for 1. Is equal to 1 or not. If it is a 1, then what I will write? It's less than 10. 2 less than 10. 3 less than 10. 4 less than 3. 6 less than 10. 7 less than 10. 8, 9 less than 10. 10 equal to 10. But if you see the greater than, I don't know whether I will receive 100, 200, 300, 400. So I won't be able to write those many map steps. So to simplify our, don't mention switch variable. Okay, and make it evaluate labels to true. Because I am not checking the equality operation now. I am checking the condition. So I will write my condition in the down. Here map, if you see, earlier I gave the value. Label I gave like 1, 2 like that. Now I will write the condition. My input less than 10. Okay. Output is message. My input is less than 10. Then okay. I will write one more map. In this case, in equal to 10. Okay. Single equal to also will be fine. Value is equal to 10. Or I can add one more map step, or I can do directly default. So instead of writing so many map steps, we completed the service in 3 map steps. Okay, I will save this and run this. Okay, I will write 1000 or 10,000. Will say greater than 10. I will give 10. Value equal to 10. Say 3. Less than 10. So did you understand the difference between, so what is important is here, the property variables are, especially these two, switch and evaluate labels. When you maintain the switch, when you maintain evaluate labels to true or false. So whenever you mention any variable in the switch, evaluate labels should be false. Whenever there is a evaluate switch, because you are saying evaluate labels to true. That means I am writing the condition in the label level, not the direct mapping. So this is important. Is this clear? If it is clear, we will stop and we will take a few examples to practice whatever we discussed till now. Okay, good. So you can think about your own examples also, how to implement it here, or I will give you a small example. Like I think last time we have given to the whole team.